Hey guys, we're going to be talking about some pistol drills that you can apply into your training day. So go ahead and roll the intro. Hey guys, thanks for checking out another HatchetCast episode, and today this video is for those who are serious. If you're looking for entertainment, this is probably not going to be the video for you. This video is going to be for people who are serious about their training and serious about getting better on their journey as a shooter. Today we're going to be talking about different pistol drills that I've created, and I'm going to break those drills down so that way it's another tool that you guys can use for your training day. But before we get started, guys, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. And also, if you do get something out of our video, you get something out of our content, and you believe in what we're doing, a great way to help the channel out is to share this video with a friend or family member, to someone that may get something out of it. Go ahead and spread the word. It's a huge way to help support us. If you want to support us even further, come take a class with us and we can do these drills and break all these skills down that you need to be able to be a better shooter, to be able to help you along your journey. So come take a class with us. Go to BARRELANDHATCHET.com and sign up for a class. We've got many classes up on the website, so go check that out. We enjoy training with you guys a lot. So we're going to talk about different pistol drills that you can apply to your training day, and I'm going to go ahead and do a breakdown of every single one of those drills so that way you have a complete understanding and you can use this as a tool whenever you're trying to build out your training regimen and make it successful. All right guys, so the first drill we're going to be doing is one shot from the draw. The biggest thing that I'm looking to do when it comes to getting a one shot from the draw is I want to be able to achieve a good baseline. And all of the drills that I'm about to talk to you guys about, it's a tool that you can use to enhance your training. It gives you some ideas to be able to run through, so that way your round count is not wasted. Your training day actually is productive. So if I want to establish a good baseline, I always start off with one shot from the draw. So on the barrel and hatchet drills, we use what's called hit factor. As far as all the drills, all you're going to need is 2 paper targets, so 2 IPSC targets, a target stand, and then you need 4 cones. Also, there's a app called Hit Factor Scorer, or Hit Factor Scoring app, and it's super easy. All you do is you put in your time and you put in, you know, how many alphas, how many bravos, how many charlies you got. So you're going to use an IPSC target. It's going to be with major scoring, and you're just going to use that for this whole time. But for the pistol draw, all you're going to be doing is going off of time and accuracy. What's really nice about hit factor is it gives you more of a metric. So let's just say, for example, you want to get, instead of just like saying, hey, I hit the A zone in this amount of time with this many rounds, it gives you kind of a percentage, and it will kind of, if you go fast and you're accurate, it gives you a high reward. If you're fast and you have a couple shots that get thrown off, it will still give you a higher percentage than someone who's going slow and accurate. So it's kind of nice. It gives you more of a metric to be able to you know, measure where you're at. You know, Lucas Botkin, I think from T-Rex Arms, did a video about hit factor scoring, but it's super cool. The app is easy, it's free to download, it's super small, and it's a great tool for your training. So for this first drill, we're going to be doing a one shot from the draw. I have 4 different categories that you can use. You have the gunslinger, you have the guardian, the Minuteman, and the asset, and they're all different, just levels to be able to see some goals to shoot for. So don't take it to heart, just look at those different categories as goals and mile markers for your training, and it just gives you some sort of metric. On the buzzer, you're going to fire 1 round. It needs to be in the A zone chest. Do an M and load. Here we go. Ooh, line breaker 0.95. So 0.97, 0.89, 0.90. All right, so 0.95. So go on a cold start here. So if you guys could see that. Doing cold start. Cold start means it's the first shots you shoot throughout the day. And that's going to give you a more decent metric. So have 1 Charlie, 4 alphas, looking to tighten that stuff up, but gives you a good metric to go off of. So now we're going to be going to the next drill. All right, so this next drill we're going to be doing is called the Centurion drill. The distances you're going to be setting up cones at 25 yards, 15 yards, and 5 yards. You're firing 3 shots at each. You need to be getting all A-zone chest hits. This is going to be done scored with hit factor. So once you're done with the drill, we're going to get the time off the shot timer, and then you're going to put in how many alphas, bravos, and charlies I got throughout the entire drill. All right, so you're going to take your cones, you're going to set up 5, 15, and 25 yards, and we're going to go ahead and score it and see what we get. Go tack load, make sure we got everything topped off. All right, here goes the shot timer. 25 yards first, 3 shots at each position. 9 shots total. All right. Okay, so, all right, let's see what we got. So I've got a time of 8:79. So we'll go ahead and see this here. So I got a time of 8:79. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bust out my phone. I'm gonna open up the app, trusty app here. And then once I get this app opened up, all right, so I'm gonna go to my app and I have 8:79, so I'm going to put that in. And then I'm going to see how many alphas, bravos, or charlies, or alpha, charlie, deltas I got. So 8 alphas. So obviously I should have marked the other ones, but I do have 1 charlie. Okay, so I got some line breakers here, but 8 alphas and 1 charlie. So 8 alphas, 1 charlie. And that gives me a hit factor of 5.00. We look on our Barrel and Hatchet standards. The gunslinger for that drill is a hit factor of 4. So you can just use it'll say like, hey, here's the hit factor that you got. So for me, I was able to get the gunslinger for that goal, hit that goal. Understand that when I made these drills, guys, I don't clean it every time. Usually I'll get like 70% of the time I'll be able to get it clean, but it's a challenge for me. So I'm just kind of sharing with you guys like, hey, here's some drills that I do that keeps me constantly challenged. These are not drills that I'm just like, I'm gonna clean it every single time. There's times where obviously like my group for my 1-shot draw was pretty big. Even though they're in the A zone, it was like still pretty nice, you know. So I'm always learning, I'm growing myself, and this is some of the drills that I do to push myself. So let's see, the next drill we have is called the Oh Crap drill. This is also going to be hit factor scoring. You're going to be at 5 yards, okay? You're going to have 3 shots. You're going to have in the chest, you're going to have slide lock reload, which means the slide is locked to the rear, you're out of bullets, so you're going to have to mess with your mag some. And then 2 shots in the A-zone credit card of the IPSC target. So your A-zone credit card is this thing right here. That's what you're trying to hit. Now you got a head box, you draw a line right here. If I say head box, this entire head box now becomes the A zone. But credit card is this alpha specifically right here. So that's my goal I'm shooting for. So 5 rounds total at 5 yards. You're gonna have 3 rounds A zone chest, slide lock reload, 2 rounds in the credit card. We're gonna see how we go. Who knows? So I'm gonna go ahead and mess with some of my mags here. I'm gonna go ahead and mess with some of my mags, get them reorganized, and then we'll come back to it. All right, guys, so I'm at 5 yards. I've got 3 rounds in the gun, so 2 rounds in the mag, 1 in the pipe. Got a full mag I'm gonna reload from. 3 rounds, A-zone chest, slide lock reload, and then I'm gonna do 2 rounds in the credit card. We'll see how it goes. Who knows? And probably won't be running this clean, but I'm gonna do hit factor scoring for this. So let's see what we get. Here we go. All right, did not get a slide lock on that one, meaning instead of the slide locking to the rear on an empty mag, I had to rack it. So that's why I did that. That's why I racked it, because I didn't get a slide lock. Let's see, I got a 3.98. I got 3 alphas and a line breaker for the credit card. Oh boy, cutting it close. So I've got 5 alphas, and that gives me a hit factor of 6.28. 6.28. And for the oh crap drill, the gunslinger is 7 points. Actually, the Guardian is 6.5 points. So I can do that. I was actually in the Minuteman bracket. So you know, slide locks, I need to practice those a little bit more. 6.28. So that's something I can work on. But like I said, guys, these drills are meant to push you, not something that you're supposed to clean every single time. If that's the case, then it's not really pushing you, it's not helping you grow. So let's go ahead and look at the next drill. All right, so this is the situational readiness drill. You're gonna be at 15 yards. You're gonna be shooting 2 to the chest, A-zone chest, 1 to the head box. So the entire head box, draw a line on it, that whole thing is gonna count as an A-zone. So 2 to the chest, 1 to the head box. You're gonna do a tactical reload. So meaning you have to actually reload. The mag has to be back in your pouch before you can shoot that second iteration. 2 to the chest, 1 to the head box again, for a total of 6 rounds. It's done at 15 yards. I call it the situational readiness drill. So we'll see what we can do. Ooh, all right, let's see what we got. Looks like I got 1 Charlie. My time is 5.99. Let me go ahead and show you the timer. So 5.99 is the time. I got 1 Charlie, 2 in the head box. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So let me go ahead and put it in the app. 5.99, 5 alphas, 1 Charlie. It's a 4.84 hit factor. And oh man, the situational readiness drill, the top hit factor score for that, the gunslinger, is 4.5. Oh, I got that. Huh, never mind. All right, so I got the, just such an idiot. All right, so got the gunslinger hit factor score. That was 4.5 for that challenge. I got 4.84. So I love doing tack reloads. They're just so dynamic and it's fun. But yeah, I don't get that clean every time though. So that's pretty good. I might not get it again. All right, so the next one's gonna be my 5x5 drill. And this one's, you're gonna have 2 cones, 5 yards apart. Both cones will be 5 yards away from the target, 2 targets, okay? So 2 targets, both of them at 5 yards, they're 5 yards apart. 2 cones at 5 yards apart. So essentially it's gonna be a big box. It should look like a big box, but you're gonna be shooting 2 shots to the A-zone chest, 1 shot to the head box, move to the other cone, 2 shots to the A-zone chest, 1 shot to the head box. Remember, it's the entire head box that we're gonna be shooting for. And then your hit factor for this is 7 points, so we'll see. Probably not gonna run this clean, but we'll give it a shot, pun intended. And get them taped up. I think it's good to tape up your targets. That kind of helps keep you accountable. I like taping everything up just so that way I really know where my shots are. And if I can see where my shots are, it helps me to diagnose what I need to fix, some things, maybe some trending mistakes that I have, some things that I'm doing wrong that I can figure out how to identify and change. So you don't want to keep doing the same thing every single time and making the same mistakes. It's kind of counterproductive. So I like taping up my targets. That's just me. But all right, let's go ahead and get started with this 5x5 drill. All right, so we're gonna be doing hit factor scoring on this. 2 to the chest, 1 to the head box. On this cone, move the other cone, 2 to the chest, 1 to the head box. Okay, so got a 3.77. Let's see how we did. Hit factor calculator. So running 2 alphas, 1 head box. Okay. 2 alphas. This is kind of spread apart. Need to work on my grip. 1 head box. So 3.77. So 3.77. 6 alphas. So a 7.95, and I believe the Guardian is at 7 points. So cool. So the way that I do drills and the way that I set standards for myself or practice things is if I start consistently, like 100% of the time, I'm able to just crush that standard, then I'll increase either the hit factor score that I need to achieve or increase the time. So eventually outperforming the drills that you set for yourself. So that's how you consistently grow. But this is just, guys, it's all a metric, and it's a way to help increase the productivity of your range day. I know that one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is just going to the range and figuring out what to do. And so these drills are just a tool for you to use to be able to help yourself out. It helps me. And it's something I do to kind of push myself on the pistol side. But if you guys got something out of that, make sure you comment below. If you have a cool drill that you would like to share with the group, comment that below. It'd be cool to be able to do some videos and stuff like that. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can come take a class with us and we'll probably do some of these drills, or you can ask questions about the drills and maybe we can run them. So it's a great way to support the channel and support what we do. You guys are absolutely incredible. It's so humbling to be able to train with you guys and hang out and fellowship with you guys. So please come take a class with us. It's awesome to see you all. Also, if you get something out of this, go check out our Hatchet Cast podcast. It's on Spotify. We also have a Hatchet Cast podcast on YouTube. It's the same exact channel. We just put it on YouTube, but the episodes, because of the algorithm, come out like a week later. So if you want to get involved on that podcast, go check it out on Spotify. It's called Hatchet Cast. Also, go check out behind the scenes stuff on Instagram, where we post live videos. We post, you know, a lot of cool behind the scenes photos and just extra stuff. So go check that out over there. And also, we're going to be putting more of our base content for our members on Grey Hive. It's a gun community version of YouTube, but all the stuff that we can't talk about on YouTube, we're going to be talking about over there. So go check out Grey Hive and the Barrel and Hatchet channel over there. So guys, hopefully you got something out of this video and you're able to use some of these drills in your training regimen. The biggest thing that we're looking to do on this channel is to serve you, the viewer. We want to serve you with knowledge, we want to serve you with a community, and also want to serve you with a message about what is the most life-saving and incredible message of all time in human history. And I actually have been had my life saved recently and really come to have a relationship with Jesus. And I think that a lot of us have a very miscued or a very skewed picture of who Jesus is and what his character's like. You know, I used to think about Jesus as like this rigid judge and boss who is like, hey, you're not good enough, and you know, this is where you're failing. And I used to think of heaven as just like one long church service that we all just up there and just, you know, it'd be boring and it was just strict and rules, and that is totally not the case. I'm reading a book called Imagine Heaven with John Burke, and he talks about near-death experiences, and it's about people's afterlife experiences, and it's really fascinating, and it really opened my eyes, you know, kind of added some color to what the scripture already says. And I want to read to you guys, you know, talking about God's character, and it's a little snippet that kind of gives you some hope about who Jesus is. And we're in John chapter 8. And what's really fascinating about this, man, is I screw up all the time. I have such a terrible past. I have, you know, been so selfish and so self-centered and just thinking about me all the time. The world revolves around me. It's all about me and my ego and my pride and what do people think about me, and you know, I've not been following what God commanded us. And his first commandment was to love him with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. And the second most important commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. It's not religion. It's not trying to follow a bunch of religious rules. It's to love him and to love other people. And so in John chapter 8, they went each to his own house, but Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. Early in the morning, he came again to the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. And then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery, and placing her in the midst, they said to him, "Teacher, this woman has been caught in the act of adultery. Now in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So what do you say?" This they said to test him, that they might have some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and wrote with his finger on the ground. But when they heard it, they went away one by one, beginning with the older ones. And Jesus was left alone with the woman. Excuse me. They said to test him, that they might have some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and wrote with his finger on the ground. And as they continued to ask him, he stood up and said to them, "Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her." And once more he bent down and wrote on the ground. But when they heard it, they went away one by one, beginning with the older ones. And Jesus was left alone with the woman standing before him. And Jesus stood up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? No one has condemned you." She said, "No one, Lord." And Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go, from now on, sin no more." And in this passage, we see kind of that character, that snippet of Jesus' character. And it's not that he is a just and true and, black and white, like true and against sin and does not approve of sin. But he is also loving. He says, "I have come to save the world," right? And so Jesus is just that being who is full of love, that wants to connect with you. He wants you to be in a relationship with him. And when we aspire to be in a relationship with Jesus, he works in your heart. He starts to mold it to where you start to fall in love with him and that relationship with him, and you want to constantly, do things that are right by him, that honor him. And that naturally makes me want to, love my neighbor and to care about people and to care about you, the audience, and to care about other people in my life and how I can serve them and love them like Jesus loves me. And so naturally I find myself not wanting to do sin and not wanting to hurt people and not wanting to be selfish, but to be selfless and to be more of a servant to others. And so Jesus wants to have that relationship with us. He wants to have that relationship with you. And to, if you've maybe not had him in your life, or you've let life things get in the way and the stresses of life get a hold of you, or you've never even known him, he's knocking on the door asking you, "Please let me have that relationship with you. Let me love on you. Let me consume you and take away all the anxieties and the fears and just mold you to be someone who is also loving towards other people." And that way, when we stand with the Lord one day, he can look at your life and you're reviewing your life with him, and he can look at it and say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Look at how much you were loving to other people and how much you loved me." And so, if you are lost and you're looking for hope and you're looking for someone to love on you because you feel so, unloved, or you feel hated, or you feel alone and burdened by all the anxieties and stresses of this life, trust me, dude, I get it. I was there. I was so burdened down, and to be able to give that to him and establish a relationship with Jesus has changed my life, and it's made me so excited that, I want everyone to feel this way. I want everyone to have that relationship, because it is filled with me with joy. And God says, "I have come to fill you with my joy so that you may be full of joy," to have joy all the time. And so guys, if you are curious about who Jesus is, email us at team@barrelandhatchet.com, or comment on this video, or whenever we do a prayer request section, that is for other Christians to be able to pray for you, and also for us to pray for you, and for, reach out to somebody, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about the saving grace and the love and relationship with Jesus that you can have, and it'll change your life. Guys, I hope that you got something out of this video. I hope that you're able to use some of these pistol drills. I hope that we can continue to serve you and to be an outlet for you guys and to help build community. Make sure that you train to be the eternal asset, and I will see you on the next one.